Hello, everybody. Are we live yet? Okay, let me know when. Now we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the TheOneRing.net Torn Tuesdays, and it is trailer week.
It is now.
It is, well, you know, it's E3 week.
Hello, everybody.
It is Apple WWDC week, and it's Man of Steel week. But most importantly, we just got the brand new trailer, the first teaser of the Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug.
And you notice something? The first thing that I noticed, the very first thing that I noticed was that 3D moving map that you see usually down in the floor space, where the camera's moving over words, and you'll see the dwarven map.
From the director of.
Yeah. So the director of, and then it says Beyond Desolation, blah blah blah. But if you look at that map, they keep showing the Desolation of Smaug area on the map. It's there.
So there's a lot of details
in
the trailer.
Details, yes.
And so we're gonna spend the next few minutes with you, going through the trailer frame by frame.
No sound.
And we're gonna announce. We're gonna kind of look at.
We're gonna test our sound.
Everything.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear?
Some of them say that the sound is a little low, and some say that they can't hear at all.
No problem.
No sound.
No
Can't hear at all. Testing. All right. We're gonna fix that problem.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll talk in sign language. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Keep talking.
No, it's G, H, I, J, K, L, N, N, O.
Can they hear now?
P. Can you hear now? Okay. Hey, yes, can you hear sound? The sound is too soft. We don't have elf ears, we cannot hear. Okay, Cliff, check the sound.
That should
We're
be
talking
better.
louder now.
That should be better.
That should be better. It's very quiet. Okay. Okay, don't worry.
Right, we're a homespun kind of
homespun. Ha ha ha. We are
pretty
on
quiet.
it.
So you can join us at TheOneRing.net/live, where we got a video embed and an IRC chat room. You don't need to download anything. You can just watch, chat along with us, or you can go to just TheOneRing.net and find our Barlumen's chat. There's usually a little icon, a little square graphic.
Yes.
Or you can find us on YouTube. Just search for The One Ring Torn Tuesdays.
Better, perfect sound. Everyone says it's great. Good.
So I think we're gonna go through and analyze this trailer. It is so packed full of stuff.
We have a lot to talk about today.
And this is a dense trailer.
For less than 2 minutes, barely 2 minutes of time, he stuffs so many fast edits into this thing. I thought of one immediate gut reaction. They're trying to sell an action picture. You know, to counteract the fact that An Unexpected Journey was a little slower and a lot more calmer. And in fact, I described it as a rather leisurely but enjoyable film. But this trailer moves to give us the feeling that they're selling a lot of action.
And there's a lot of new characters. So
yes.
Let's take a look at the trailer and
yes,
and
indeed.
We'll go through it. So let's play this words.
All right, look at that.
Where does your journey end? You seek that which would bestow upon you the right to rule. The quest to reclaim a homeland and slay a dragon.
Do not think I won't kill you, dwarf.
When did we allow evil to become stronger than us?
It is not our fight.
It is our fight.
What if it's a trap?
It's undoubtedly a trap.
Such is the nature of evil. In time, all foul things come forth.
that beast, you will destroy us all.
Was that an earthquake?
That, my lad, was a dragon.
Wow, so we got a lot going on. First off, before we go back to the beginning, this is important. HFR is back. It's here to stay. You know, it was very polarizing. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did like it. They loved the new technology and the high frame rate. It just felt like you were there. I personally enjoyed HFR on the third viewing. On the third viewing, my mind just kind of got it, and from then on, HFR. And there was some debate in the fan community whether, you know, because of the reaction was kind of so-so, and a lot of critics were criticizing the first Hobbit movie because of HFR. Well, here it is on the first teaser trailer.
Combine that with how the theater owners had to spend a lot of money to upgrade their sound systems and projection systems to do HFR, and then the audiences didn't really come to see it.
So there we are. It's coming, and
as much as they thought.
This is the UK version that we're looking at. But if you look at the US version, it says 3D HFR and IMAX 3D. IMAX 3D in the US only as of now. So
can't wait for that. That's my preferred format. You know, I'll tell you, I'll take IMAX 3D and its brightness and clarity over HFR any day. But that's just me. That's just one man's opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I love IMAX 3D. It is stunning. It's the best improvement, and it's the only proper way to see anything in 3D. Period. It gets rid of the the dimming of like 30% of the brightness.
But even if it wasn't shot in 3D, even if it wasn't shot in IMAX, like Dark Knight was shot in IMAX. There's certain movies that are shot in IMAX.
About 30% of Dark Knight is shot in IMAX.
You appreciate IMAX because of the brightness. They really have. And you know what attributes that? Yes. IMAX has a very special screen. It's not just tall, but it's got a reflective silver lining. In fact, it's threaded. When they stitch it together, it's threaded with silver, actual strands of silver. Straight out of Middle Earth.
The value of that IMAX screen is worth more than that of the whole Shire.
All right, so let's dive into this trailer. All right, so
seriously,
what
we have is an opening narrator who is unique. Okay, brand new voice. First introduction to this character.
He didn't talk
this movie
in the first movie.
He does not. He is mute in the first movie.
He just gives that glancing look like.
And he has that very haughty, uncomfortable way of bowing to King Thror, King under the mountain, and he barely moves his head. Lee Pace brings Thranduil to us in an unexpected journey, but he's completely mute, and he just does this cold, I acknowledge you, like I have to, but I hate it, but I have to.
So what is it? Were you surprised to have Lee Pace?
Yeah.
All the character of all the epic voices in this movie.
You know
we've got epic Ian McKellen, we've got epic
Galadriel,
Cumberbatch, we've got epic Galadriel.
That's what I thought it would be.
There's so many. I
thought it'd be Galadriel or Gandalf's voice. Instead, we're led off by the voice of Thranduil, who is interrogating a captured and very ashamed in a difficult spot Thorin Oakenshield, being interrogated by the Elven King. It's the first thing we hear.
So we're starting off. There's no sail on this boat. So where are we in the story here? We've obviously got ice in the water. It's becoming winter.
This is the river running.
And there's no sail.
It doesn't need a sail. They're rowing. See the rows?
Right. So
this is a rowboat.
This is a different boat than we saw with Bard the Bowman.
This is with Bard the Bowman leaving Lake Town on their way north up the river running towards Dale, or I should say the ruins of Dale that you saw being destroyed in the opening prologue. So the first thing you see is, I think, part of Thorin and company, if not all of them, and there's their boat going upriver from Long Lake, and they've left Lake Town behind, and they're going up to the ruins of Dale towards the Lonely Mountains.
This right here is why you want to see this in HFR 3D.
these shots right here.
This landscape.
Yeah.
Do we know if this mountain is real? Because remember, Mount Doom is a real mountain in New Zealand. They filmed a mountain.
Ruapehu.
And it was
right.
actually
it was Ruapehu that modeled after.
And there was a lot
photography.
of a lot of debate and controversy over that because it is sacred. The mountain is sacred to the indigenous people of New Zealand.
The Maori natives.
The Maori natives. So it was like no photographs and no video, and so it was kind of a big deal that they shot their whole, you know, their
This shot specifically to me, it looks like the opening of the Paramount logo.
or
it
the
looks
and
really
it
close
kind
to
of looks like the Matterhorn at Disneyland.
a little bit.
I don't know if that's a real mountain.
No, we don't know anything in any rumors or any stories yet about a photo reference for that mountain.
But you were in New Zealand.
That is the location of Erebor,
You know,
the Lonely Mountain.
So do you know if they shot on a mountain?
Well, the highest peak in New Zealand is Mount Cook. And Mount Cook, I think, may have been mentioned somewhere as a photo reference for the Lonely Mountain.
But
because
its
the
elevation would be so low.
And
I don't know if they get snow.
Yes, they're very high alpine mountains.
And it's winter right there.
Those alpine mountains are called the Southern Alps.
Okay.
For a reason. They're covered with snow like the Alps in
And that's
northern
why,
Europe.
and that's why they're doing pickup shoots right now with the entire cast in New Zealand, because it is winter. It is coming on winter, and so you're going to get snow on the ground, you're going to get cold breath. Hopefully they start shooting some of this outdoors and you start to see real practical effects. We'll go into some of the different CG and stage stuff in a little bit.
You can tell fake breath in cold air anytime you see it.
Right.
You can always tell when it's fake, you know. Now here's one of my favorite shots. This is really, look, they're climbing up the secret stairs
Look right
that is
here.
along the statue there. The dwarf statue facing outward, facing out from the mountain, is ginormous. This is our first sense of scale of this dwarven statue.
This is the equivalent of the
The
Argonath.
Argonath, yes.
This is the dwarven equivalent of Argonath. And what's neat about this is that you see that the men weren't the only ones of for lack of a better word, ego, to build themselves into the rock.
In Mount Rushmore style.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore. And you kind of get
magnificent.
this, in Lord of the Rings, you kind of get this feeling, it's never explicit, maybe I'm reading too much into it, that men are the most egotistical of all the races.
And the weakest.
And
that is
the
an
weakest.
ongoing theme in Lord of the Rings.
And
You
so
got
they
it.
built the
You got it.
Argonath. Well, here we are, dwarves did the same too.
This is a great example of dwarven hubris. If you're looking at it from one angle, another way I look at it is this is the dwarven kingdom at the greatest level of talent and creativity. And they have these stairs in the lower corner below the left arm of the statues holding the butt of the axe. And there they go up the secret stairs and up across the entire length of the axe. It's ingenious. We saw the Argonath up close when the camera swoops by the Argonath and Howard Shore manages to bring up Isildur's theme in the grandest style, big orchestration of Isildur's theme, the ring theme.
Yeah.
Da, na, 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 na. We go right by the Argonath.
Imagine. It has to be after Smaug left to go to Lake Town.
No, this is where I think the dwarves are first arriving on the face of the Lonely Mountain before they've ever even gone inside. They haven't had an encounter with Smaug yet.
Do we know if that's Thrain?
It looks just like his dwarven beard. See the ornaments on his beard?
See the ornaments on his beard? That looks just like the king.
It looks like Thror. The king was
Thror, sorry.
Thrain was the one-eyed missing father of Thorin, whom we only see in a couple of brief shots.
So we'll get to that.
We'll see him, very
Alright,
soon.
so what town are we looking at here?
Dale, the ruins of Dale.
This is the town that gets destroyed in the very first opening scene.
Where you saw the kids
of
flying
Hobbit.
the kites. Yes, and the dwarven women were
So
down in the courtyard.
So they abandoned it completely.
Well, there's nothing left, no. And it was never rehabilitated, never.
It was never rehabilitated.
Now, the whole area of land is called the Desolation of Smaug, and is put that way on all the maps for a reason.
And we've got Adam Brown, we've got Thorin.
And there's just no life there. No fertility in the land. Nothing but waste.
Jed Brophy, Dwalin, who else we got?
You can definitely see starfish hair. There's Nori.
Dwalin, Thorin, I don't know who that is, and this is...
No, actually, this, I believe, is Dory and Dwalin and Thorin and Ori, and on the furthest left, It might be Bifford, who has the axe in his forehead.
Yeah,
I think that's Bifford. The one who
So-
doesn't speak anything except
So
ancient
this is
Dwarvish.
again. Do we know if this is a bigature? Did they create any bigatures? Remember the Lord of the Rings. One of the reasons the Lord of the Rings was so successful is the bigatures.
They had no
He loved to
bigatures
say-
built. No, he's made a point of saying he didn't have any bigatures.
He didn't. Richard Taylor did not build any
No.
bigatures.
However, bigatures. What they did do, however, they built a life-size Dale set, which was burned and destroyed and weathered and changed. So they used it for all the shots that we saw in the prologue, and they reused the same set with its destroyed version.
All right.
And every one of the actors has told me, "Oh my gosh, have you gone to see the Dale set?" Everyone pulled my shirt and said, "Did you go and get to see the Dale set?" As if it was the most amazing thing yet.
And they
I would-
destroyed it.
And then it had to be destroyed. I didn't get the chance to go there while I was there. But I did see some of the shots being filmed that we do see in this trailer, actually.
What is this? Is this a forest kingdom?
It looks rather elven, doesn't it?
It looks. I don't know, but it's
I know
a
exactly
very,
what it is.
It's very dwarven in their kind of colonnaded structure,
Mhm.
and you know, but then you've got these roots, columns, and then roots as bridges.
It's
so
kind
it's
of
like
a combination
of
of trees and stone.
trees and stone.
You know what this is? The halls of Thranduil. There he is. There he is. Lee Pace.
And what did you
As-
say today? Those eyebrows.
Well, you'll see a shot later.
Okay.
There's another close-up of his eyes. But that's Thranduil with
Look
this
at that
very interesting
of
crown.
Thorns.
Yeah, a crown of what you would call thistles and sticks,
Look
twigs.
at that! Look at that face of Lee Pace, and you say Orlando who?
Ladies, it's all over now. Orlando Bloom fan club, you might as well shut the lights off and put the chairs up on the tables.
I tell you what,
Because it's all over now.
if everyone was excited about hot dwarves on the first Hobbit movie, this is
All about
this
hot
is
elves.
Hot elves.
That's a lot of hot
and,
elves.
And you've got the Luke Evans in the
Oh, yeah.
in Lake Town.
He's showing off his mischief as well. So we see back to the interrogation.
You know, I first saw this and I thought, uh-oh, he's got Radagast bird poop hair. But that's actually spiderweb.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got webs.
Look at his shoulders. All the shoulders.
They're still covered.
Dwalin.
Yes.
They're still covered in spider hair.
And yet, now here's an echo of what happens in the first film. The king of the dwarves is dragged as a prisoner in front of some other king of another kingdom, just like he was with the Great Goblin. And now Thorin has to deal with the haughty and altogether unpleasant, arrogance of Thranduil interrogating him. What it looks like they're entering the caves and they're walking across those bridges.
Yeah.
And the bridges are combinations of stone sculptures, bas-relief stone structures that are made to look like intertwining tree limbs and branches, combined with real trees that are used to make land bridges. See, there's a stone bridge and a tree bridge as well.
There is a stone bridge and a tree bridge. And you've got a good sense of scale. You've got a lot of short dwarves and you've got a lot of tall.
This is particularly cool that the sunlight is still coming in and the forest river is running through. As Tolkien described it in the book, the forest river does run right underneath the mouth of the caves at the front when they enter the
Well,
realm.
there's the waterfall. We've got a waterfall.
So it's geographically accurate, and it's stunningly beautiful to see the light coming in like this. And you can see that they have a synthesis of the organic and the stone structure. It's like they're living underground, but they're still making it look like they're outdoors, even though they're moving into an underground realm. So I guess when the elves go underground, they don't have any caverns that are as dark and deep as Moria or anything that looks dwarven. They're really working hard to change the architecture and change the visuals to let us know how different these underground realms are from one another. Cue barrels out of Bond. There's the whole big escape sequence. Oh.
And who's it led by? That looks like a little Ori.
That does look like poor Adam Brown is the first dwarf being tossed out. It looks like Ori and Dory.
That's the force.
Yeah, there they are. Oh, that looks
All right,
like an unpleasant mess.
So
Bilbo forgot to put lids on the barrels, and their bodies are hanging out of these barrels as they. Oh, this looks like a Disney ride gone to hell and back. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it does look like totally.
This looks like
All right,
people are really gonna.
You got some blonde braids there.
Those braids are Dory. I'm pretty sure.
You know, and this is where I started to get lost in the trailer because you can because they're shooting in high def frame rate, and then you've got all the. There's just it's off. Look,
that's because they have to down res this version to show us
this
online.
frame. I mean, you've got a really sharp barrels, but the background is all motion blurred. See, here's the thing with HFR, and a lot of people we discuss this ad nauseum, but
yes, we do. It's a technical issue.
Old film, classic film, even digital filmmaking, you have motion blur because you're moving at 24 frames per second. So to get this sense of moving, you've got that's why if you like wave your hand when you take a picture, there's motion blur. So in HFR, in high frame rate, there should not be any motion blur. There shouldn't. There should not be any motion blur
That's
at
not what
high
this is.
frame
This
rate.
has been down converted.
But still,
from HFR.
But there is sharpness in the real stuff. We know the dwarves were shot for real.
That's because visual editors like Final Cut Pro and other things like that, when they down res a certain thing from a high res source, it adds motion blur to try to make it look like it's not as bad. That's part of the process of down converting.
8. All right, and then looks like we got.
All right, we have
Jet Brophy. We got Ballin, the top there. Who's this guy? Oh, there's our good friend.
Beaufort.
Beaufort.
That's Beaufort. There's James Nesbitt. Okay, so we're counting all the dwarves as they roll.
You got all these glasses and steins and stuff.
These are actual wine bottles.
Wine
bottles that have been cemented and used with mud to put into the wall as part of the building.
So they're in wine barrels. That makes sense. And they're in a wine closet.
The situation is pretty basic economical trade route that they have between the men of Laketown and the Wood Elves' kingdom.
Right.
Okay? All kinds of food, produce, and goods were delivered upriver
just
by the human men who lived on Long Lake.
Okay.
All the empty barrels, when they were empty, they could have been containing fish or apples or any other grocery items or any other marketplace items. In fact, many of the dwarves in the book complain about the stench of what was the ingredient inside their barrels.
Yeah.
One of the dwarves says, "I'll never eat apples again," and another one, had another smell experience, whatever he was stuffed in. But what's different here in the movie is that there are no lids on any of the barrels. So
and Beaufort's wife in the chat room is saying this is our only shot of Beaufort.
In the whole trailer, yes, that is the only shot of
Really?
Beaufort in the whole trailer.
So a little less. Okay, what is going on
Now,
here?
that is one.
This was straight out of like Two Towers. Merry and Pippin in Treebeard's head.
Was it? Well, no. This is better. This is one of Professor Tolkien's most poetic and picturesque moments, where his characters have been suffering under the gloom and the darkness of Mirkwood, under the forest, for days and days and days. They've lost count of days. They've lost their path. They're lost in the forest. They don't know, literally, like a Grimm's fairy tale, lost in the woods.
They don't know where the sun is rising.
To try to find out where the sun is rising, they send their burglar, Bilbo, who is a better tree climber than any dwarf, any day, and they send him up to the top of the tallest tree to have a look about, as they say in the dialogue of the 1977 film. Bilbo says, "I couldn't argue. The terms of my contract are very vague." So they send him up the top of the tree to see if they can find an end of the forest and the end of their difficulty. What does he find? The butterflies
Blue butterflies
are purple. They were actually supposed to be deep, dark, purple, giant
those
butterflies.
Those aren't purple. So we
they're
have
kind of bluey, but
so those are our first two discrepancies from the book. The barrels don't have lids.
And the butterflies look more bluish and azure than they do look purpling. I will give them that. But this is Bilbo finally seeing the daylight for the first time in untold weeks. And it's like a wonderful, wonderful shot. It's a beautiful shot. I'm really glad we got to see this in the teaser. It's beautiful.
This is
really beautiful.
this is when I started to realize with this shot right here that this teaser trailer, just like the first teaser for the Hobbit one, is fan service. This is like this trailer is all about fan service. Let's show you as much as we can of what you want to see. And this is one of those scenes.
Dizino, I love your satirical point. It's a very well made point. Too bad that we should have had an action scene with the butterflies. I know, remember? It's an action trailer, and they're trying to show us all these wild action scenes, which we're going to see a lot more of.
Blue is better. I agree. Blue is definitely better.
Well, it's a nice contrast with the leaves of the top of this tree.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Keep going, keep going. Let's see. I just want to hear what Howard Shore does musically with that moment.
All right, this is the start of what I call the second quarter of the trailer.
That is a great combination of CGI and real photography.
I don't know if it's a great combination of CGI.
It looks seamless to me. That looks completely seamless to me.
Or later on, and I bet you this was real. I mean, they shot in the river, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They shot a lot of the actors in.
Oh, man.
That poor Graham McTavish. Soaking
is that
cold.
Graham? Is that Graham himself?
That is Dwalin. That is
look
Graham
at that
McTavish.
Forehead. That is.
That's not a stunt actor. I'm pretty sure that's him himself.
That's him. Look, and he ducks his head just right.
Oh, just in time.
And there's Bombard.
Is that Bumber? Is that Stephen Hunter? Now here's where we see elves running across these tree limbs.
That is definitely Bomber.
Oh yeah, that's Stephen Hunter. There he goes.
Right?
That's Bomber.
Yep, that's definitely Bomber. So we've got Dwalin, like with his sleeves rolled up, like I'm gonna take this. Look how crystal clear that blue water is.
Welcome to the New Zealand environment.
I'm ready to jump in right now. All right, so this is the biggest controversial thing.
It is a controversy. Look, they're saying that right now. Moir has said, I need to know why there is a fight in the barrels. And this is very, very strange. There is no fight scene that is conducted among anybody. It's just a stealthy escape in the barrels, according to the book. Now, we have all these elves running along the trees. You know what they remind me of?
That's nobody we know.
No, but these elves are running along like the chimpanzees in Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, look.
That's what this looks like to me.
Watch this elf right here.
This is the CGI stuff that the fans are complaining about.
Full 180, right? He's moving forward, and then...
Does he do a cartwheel?
Look.
Oh, and then he turns around?
And then he turns around. That is totally out of Planet of the Apes.
Wow. Like he was maybe swinging on a Tarzan vine.
Yeah.
You know what?
Look at that guy. He just like when you're running along trees, you don't turn around.
To tell you something, when you're trying to create
this kind of... That's definitely Bomber, though.
That is so much Bomber. But you're trying to get fast motion, agility, moves out of the CGI, you still have to get the physics right. You have to get the physics and the gravity of a human being to move around right. And
there's something off about these costumes and these branches, and that was a big controversy before the movie came out. It was like, these sets are way too bright and too neon. And Peter Jackson brushed it off like, oh, we need to do that because we're going to grade it, change the color later. But there's just something like off about it. And
hi, Esme. How you doing?
They don't even look like real actors on a green screen. I'm sorry. Maybe they're real actors on a green screen.
No, I guarantee you that every one of the characters in that shot is CG. Every one of them.
I don't know. You think?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. You would never have stuntmen running over a tree branch.
Well, no. This would be like all on green screen. They'd be running on different pillars of green screen.
Play it in real time, and instead of doing this toggling back and forth, play it in real time, real quick. Yeah, none of that. Maybe they need to continue polishing that, but it definitely looks like
this is the CG elves. Come on, like you're overdoing it with CG, and you're only in a trailer.
The idea of having.
But I do like the content?
Well, the idea is that their escape from the kingdom of the elves did not go completely blindly unnoticed.
Right.
Somebody noticed, somebody called the alarm, and they're after their escaped prisoners. Now, this adds insult to injury from the dwarven point of view. Not only did they falsely clamp down on us, they didn't give us food when we were starving. They came to beg for food, and then they kept us prisoner for no reason. And now they're trying to kill us without trial, without rights, without any judicial anything. They're just going to kill us outright.
Yeah.
From the dwarves' point of view, I get it. I understand why the storytelling is there for the elves to be this pernicious and aggro on Thorin and company. But it didn't happen in the book. As you guys know, you've read this book for 75 years now. It's not in Tolkien.
The physics
This
of
is
the elves
an interesting departure.
Well, the physics of the elves is off in Lord of the Rings as well, but the difference is it was one elf. You know, Legolas mounting a horse backwards, like 100% backwards. You know, that's different than having like a bunch of CG elves. It just. All right, so look, we
So
went from
now,
like the
moving-
roaring rapids.
And then we move into a real set that looks like real trees.
And this you can tell that the neon colors were starting. Look, you got these tree trunks of neon
This
colors.
is Mirkwood. This must be a first full, like, establishing shot of Mirkwood, and then
And
we
it's
get
really short.
the words
And
beyond
we've got
darkness.
Wallen, and we've got.
Oh, there's the whole Thorin and
Balin
company right there.
right in front.
You
We've
can
got-
see Balin by his beard. Look at his
Yeah.
beard. Okay, now here's the thing. Star Trek Into Darkness, and now we have The Hobbit Beyond Darkness.
the
Okay?
first words that you see on screen. And this is
Beyond
more than
darkness.
just this is more than just a map. You actually don't really see a map.
I do. I recognize
mean,
that.
not as much as it's not as much as an angle as it was in the Hobbit.
Okay,
All right.
our very first appearance of Orlando Bloom, ladies and gentlemen, the first appearance of Legolas,
All right.
where he slides up and springs to life. Don't think that I won't kill you, dwarf.
All right.
Wow.
Are these the same knives?
His long knives.
All right. Those are all
Yes.
the same. And he goes a long way from hating dwarves to teaming up with people. Do you think there's a storyline that has
No,
Legolas and
Pete Northrunner is on to a great detail. People have been talking about this all day. Freeze it at 26 seconds when Legolas is stringing up an arrow. He's CG until he talks. Oh, so that is a CG Legolas, and then it changes to a real Orlando Bloom. Oh, did you see a transition there?
no? It's just a cut.
It looks like he's being dragged through the leaves by a special wire. Oh, yeah, see? See the CG of the arrow? It didn't exist. And then they dropped the arrow in.
No, he grabs it. You can see it.
Oh, you can see it.
It's right there in this frame, and then bam. But he misses grabbing an arrow.
He misses grabbing an arrow.
Two. Yeah, he misses grabbing an arrow, and then he gets it again. But I don't think that's CG. I think that's legit because his face is way deformed. Like someone being pulled. So I think that's legit, and they filmed it in reverse.
Mary Lover, hello, welcome to the show. Our new friend, welcome to the audience. It's not that he's a hater, it's just that he's a doubting Thomas, sometimes. See?
What?
You're being accused of being a hater.
On what?
Please stop hating. He's not hating, he's just...
What am I hating? What am I hating?
He's applying a more
Film.
critical eye. He's applying a critical
I'm looking
eye
at it from a
a
typical
non-fan perspective.
film
Typical
fan
person.
that is not hardcore. And look, so they have a bunch of spider webs on them.
I think that the doubting Thomas versus the advocate voice works as a foil. So
You know, I just
bear with
realized
us.
I'm looking at, you see all the spider webs in their hair.
Yes.
And they've just come up across Legolas. And then earlier in the trailer we have Thranduil talking to Thorin with spiders in their hair. So
Yes.
this is Legolas proving his quality
To his dad.
To his dad.
Now,
we've got parallels now.
We have that were never in Tolkien because Tolkien didn't put Legolas in The Hobbit. So now we get to see how Peter Jackson and
It's
Fran
bridging.
Walsh
It's creating these parallels.
Yes, we'll start building that father-son relationship. How does that work out? How does Tauriel work out? We're about to see her in a minute too.
Right.
There's a new exploration of the dynamic between father and son. Yes, you're right in pointing that out.
Right, so you've got
we've never seen
quality,
this before.
and you've got neon leaves. Look at all the neon leaves. So this forest, when it was shot, was definitely neon that we saw.
And they've been saturating the colors and changing the colors.
Look at.
Oh.
Who is that? Look at this little knife.
That's Nori.
Look at Nori's little knife. Hey, I'm gonna get you.
Listen,
I'm gonna get you.
You have to understand, at this point in the trailer...
And he's got a slingshot out. Oh!
Yeah, Adam Brown has a slingshot.
He told us.
At this point in the story, all the dwarves have been drugged and poisoned by spiders that has made them weak and wobbly, and they've just been pulled out of cocoons of webbing, and Bilbo has just roused them to stay alive for a few moments longer and run for their lives. When they run for their lives, they go out of one spider entrapment into a crazy elf entrapment. And
Ori is ready to...
Ori's pissed.
Yes.
Do you know what? Remind me not to piss off Adam Brown. Look, Ori's like... All
right.
Oh my gosh,
now,
that's great.
This next thing, I was like, wait, there's what do we have? What do they want us to say every time?
Gron.
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 So
Gron.
this next scene came up. I'm like, Gron.
Oh.
And I'm like, Gron.
Oh, is that Gron busting
Gron?
his way in? That's a
Gron?
that is Bjorn.
And I thought that was a dog, and then until you actually said.
That's a frightening and giant mega
holy
bear.
Moly.
Oh,
I had no. You know what this reminds me of?
That's after he changes shape. Oh man, he's giant. Oh,
he's huge. You know what he reminds me of? The Nothing from Neverending Story.
Oh yeah.
Remember
yes.
that huge wolf.
That evil black wolf.
Oh.
The evil black
Straight
wolf
up.
was actually named Gamork, and Gamork was a servant of the Nothing.
Yes.
Which was an incorporeal nothing. Yes, but yeah, that is a little bit of a Neverending Story flashback, and that's why I really liked it when I saw this. I'm like, holy cow, that's a giant, frightening thing.
So you get to see the scale of this of this set with these dwarves. I mean,
my gosh.
That's sure enough a bear. So is this like
yeah, that's a bear.
Is this like Mama Bear going, "Who ate my porridge"?
No, we don't know why Bjorn is making this attack in bear shape. We do not know why, because the characters are already safely inside Bjorn's halls. They're inside his house. We have no idea. However, in the book, when Bjorn goes wandering off in the dark of night, Gandalf warns all the dwarves. He's like, stay asleep, stay in bed, do not go outside, do not open that door, do not unlock that door, stay where you are until morning light, because Bjorn will be out there patrolling for orcs that are coming around. And it looks like what I'm expecting, this is my guess, no concrete proof of this, but it seems as if the dwarves are doing something rather foolish and hasty, and they're opening the door in the
hasty
when they shouldn't, and Bjorn is still
outside.
And
so this is the third major discrepancy.
That's just my guess, but otherwise I don't know why he would be attacking through this door.
This is the third major discrepancy from the book.
You think?
In this trailer that we've seen so far.
We haven't figured out context yet.
Right, but we do know that he doesn't attack the dwarves.
Hi, Xanased. How you doing?
And so, yeah, this bear is...
Oh, look. There's Muriel, Balfour's wife, and there's Teteras. Hey, Teteras, who's been contributing a lot of really cool articles to TheOneRing.net. Hello there, Teteras. Giving shout-outs to everybody in the audience.
And here's the other thing.
And Dark Cal, Emmy, and... Oh, wait.
Nothing. Look at this.
Shersab. Hello. Did I say it right?
This screenshot just says nothing.
Keep going. We've got a lot to cover.
All right.
That's a mighty fine bear.
I was going to say, they should... As a completely heterosexual male, Mikkel Persbrandt plays Bjorn, and he's not a bad-looking dude. And they didn't show him in the trailer.
Yeah, you don't get to see Mikkel Persbrandt at all. We're introduced to a lot of new characters. Who do we get? We get Orlando Bloom, we get Tauriel, we get Bard at the end. Who are the people not introduced?
I love this.
Oh yeah, Bilbo's ready. Bilbo's ready. And look, there's John Callan in the background. He's ready too. And there's
And
glowing.
Is Gandalf supposed to be there?
Yeah, Gandalf is there with them
Okay.
in Bjorn's house.
All right.
Now here you go. Check this out. I don't know the context yet, but before we get to the shot of Tauriel, we don't get any Mikkel Persbrandt, and we don't get any Stephen Fry. Those are the two actors who are going to be important roles.
Important sub
Huge, important roles. We don't see them in this teaser.
So there's more to see in another trailer.
Who else do we not get? No Galadriel.
No Galadriel.
No Galadriel.
No Saruman.
No Elrond. No Saruman. No. Oh my gosh.
Well,
no
maybe
Necromancer either.
Maybe
Interesting.
for simplicity's sake, they only allow one set of elves per movie. Maybe. I don't know.
Searshot. Yes.
All right.
Got it. Searshot.
So you know what? She's. I think Tauriel here is growing on the fans. Tauriel is a completely made up character. This is discrepancy number 4 in this trailer, away from the book. That
Interestingly,
the filmmakers.
For those who are keeping count, yes, it's number 4.
So the filmmakers are taking liberties with the story, and everyone was like, "There's no women in The Hobbit," and I'm thinking, yes, there should be, and she proves her quality in this trailer.
There was one of the comments that came from early chat I had at 10 o'clock this morning when I was barely awake, and there was a fan who said, "Why? Oh why do they feel the need to add a female character to make us appreciate the movies more? Why do they do that?" And I thought, the only proper answer to that is from a non-fan, okay? If you're a real Tolkien fan who loves the books, you know that The Hobbit is purely, a young boy's adventure tale. It's a boy's story, and it's a romp through that type of fantasy. There are no female characters mentioned, even in the periphery. Now, compare what storytelling was in 1937 and publishing children's books versus a mass market, major, multi-million dollar, $100 million motion picture tentpole franchise. That has to include women. If there was a gender disparity of such a degree that we didn't have any female characters in any of the 3 Hobbit movies, everyone would cry foul. Everyone would cry misogyny against Peter Jackson. They would. They would. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's written by women.
See, so the idea of adding a female character is copacetic by me.
And we talked about this when we were going over the history of dwarves.
Movie making requires it.
You need one thing critically missing is the cause.
Oh, Kalasuri's in the chat. Hello,
so
Chris. Welcome.
There's not a lot of cause. You don't have as strong reasons for these characters to go on these quests and keep putting their lives in danger. Besides, I'm going to reclaim my kingdom. I don't know what's there. I don't know what's left. Well, let's go. Like compared to Lord of the Rings, which was like, I love this woman. I love this girl. I love my land. I love my king. Like you had a lot of people doing it for the love of the Shire. You had a lot of people doing it for the love in Lord of the Rings. In this movie, there isn't any. So
yeah, here's one fan. Thank you, Easterling Chief. It has been 76 years, guys. Would adding some estrogen to the mix really hurt? Great point. That's a very salient point. Thank you for that.
And they spanned a good chunk of this trailer introducing Tauriel. Now, we know for a fact she was supposed to be in the first movie.
All of her introductions and all of her setup as a character would have been in the first of the 2 proposed Hobbit films.
When the Hobbit was 2 movies, we know for a fact. And why do we know? Because they made the toys.
And then the toys were pulled off the shelves.
As soon as they decided.
That Legolas Tauriel double pack, if you guys had any of those from Bridge Direct, you're a lucky person. You're a lucky collector. Hold on to those, because that's really, really valuable. Now, here we have our very first ever chestnut or auburn red-haired elf. We've never seen an elf with this hair.
She's pulling
a Legolas.
A feather, and she's bringing it from the other side of things. So she's actually doing that right. She's actually pulling her bow correctly.
That's pretty wicked. That's pretty cool.
She's legit. Yeah. And that's no stunt, though.
Here's an interesting thing. She's drawing her arrows from a front quiver, which is on her front left side, instead of reaching to get quiver placement behind her neck. That's fascinating. I never noticed that before.
All right, where are we at here?
Lake Town.
This is Lake Town. As you can see, it's got canals like Venice.
Oh, yes, it does. The proper name for Lake Town is Esgaroth.
Esgaroth, and so this is definitely Lake Town. You've got canals going through it. A boat here, a boat of barrels. Wait, how many barrels are in there?
Funny,
1, 2,
Tim
3,
Dolph.
4, 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 barrels in this boat.
That's right.
There's 14 barrels in this boat. And we pause for station identification. If you go to TheOneRing.BigCartel.com, we've got Lake Town t-shirts.
We do have Lake Town. Shall I go get one?
This is, we'll
Shall I go get one?
No, we'll just go. If you go to TheOneRing.net, and you can find our t-shirts there, or our Facebook page, there's a link to our shirt store. We've got 2 Lake Town shirts. We got Lake Town Archery Club,
Ooh, yes.
which is an allusion to Bart the Bowman, and because he is a bowman at Lake Town Archery Club. And we've got Lake Town Fire Department, because we figure if Lake Town is battling fire drakes, they probably have a fire department.
Oh, well.
And we're shipping those right now, worldwide.
It's really, really cool. And the web address again, where you can find those cool shirts.
TheOneRing.BigCartel.com.
That's right. TheOneRing.BigCartel.com.
All right, so this is beautiful Lake Town.
It is a beautiful bit of Lake Town, and it is very interesting because
it's very oriental. Look at the look at these little
these weird touches.
You know what this reminded me of?
It reminds me of Inuit Eskimo sculpture designs. It really does.
Interesting.
It's what this is very suggestive of whales or fish. And because these people live on the lake and they draw their living from the fish and the river and the lake, I think we might see some.
This reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean 3. The opening of Pirates 3, where they meet, was it Chow Fang?
Chow Yun Fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever the character. But it was a lake town,
sort of.
With
a lot of canals.
With a lot of canals. So this definitely reminded me. But this is so much cooler. It's bigger.
Bigger than you thought. This is almost a Dickensian view of like industrial London. With all the smoke and the
birds.
Smoke rising from the ramshackle rooftops. It looks like a shanty town, doesn't it?
And I really
Lake
want
Town
a
really
good
looks
Howard
like
Shore score for this Lake Town.
Ooh, yeah.
I want a good theme for this. All right, we're back with a little more Legolas. He's cleaned up.
And this is where Legolas says, "It's not our fight." And Tauriel says, "But it is our
Not our fight.
It is our fight.
From the Two Towers, where Mary screams at the Entmoot and says, "But you're part of this world," and convinces them that really that fight belongs to the Ents as much as it belongs to the Hobbits or anybody else involved in the War of the Ring. So there's an echo of that, I think, here. That's and a lot of very
shop.theonering.net. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, even better. Okay, thanks, Kalasuri.
Yeah,
right.
Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is definitely Tauriel and Legolas, and everyone's questioning like who's got the love story, who's brother and sister, and who's the love interest, and who's connected to who. And I don't get any feeling that they're together.
No, I get the feeling. I get the feeling that they have a rather bristly relationship, if anything.
But if they are, it would give Legolas a good reason to go on the quest in Lord of the Rings. If he loses Tauriel, and for some reason she dies in the second or third film, it gives Orlando Bloom's character now a reason to
go to Rivendell and become more involved with the fight against the Shadow.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I'm calling it now.
You heard it here
first. You heard it here first. That's my crazy.
That's his crazy prediction. But let me get back to Idril in the chat, who was asking a question about.
What are they looking at here, by the way?
They're looking at the.
Look at that.
They're looking at Long Lake. I mean,
that's Lake Town.
Yeah, that's Lake Town.
In the middle of the lake.
It's built on the surface of the water. Yeah.
It's in the middle of the lake.
Yes.
Oh,
Lake. That's why it's called Lake Town.
I thought it was.
It's not built on the side of the shoreline.
No.
It's built on the water.
Well, there you go.
Idril was asking, what is it about, how will they reconcile the Battle of the Five Armies with Bjorn coming in? If Bjorn has been dehumanized and attacking the dwarves, then why then would he help them, like the book says? Well, Idril, we don't know the context. at all. It might be a very simple misunderstanding, or just a cautionary little funny little bit where Gandalf is trying to remind the dwarves how dangerous Bjorn is. I don't think that we have rock solid evidence of the Bjorn storyline being so drastically changed. We don't have any evidence of that, just from the out of context bits we see in the teaser trailer. I wouldn't expect Bjorn to be dehumanized at all. So, but we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I'm connecting all the pieces, and the way, you know, you got a trilogy, a prequel trilogy here, and everything's got to connect to the original trilogy. So it's all these little things. Legolas proving his quality to his dad. You know, epic loss.
Okay.
So a lot of people were complaining about Tauriel's photo in Entertainment Weekly, that it looked cosplayish, like amateur cosplay, like we expect more out of our dwarves costumes. And we do. Lord of the Rings set a high standard of very nicely detailed war material.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Every time you see an elf in the Battle of Helm's Deep and stuff like that, you have, you know, war gear. And here's Tauriel, and she's got like
it's a different costume than what she's seen in the previous shot.
Right. So, you know, is that enough to make a costume for Comic-Con? We'll see. I don't think there'll be many Tauriels at Comic-Con, but we know Comic-Con there will be.
There will be all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Now, deep inside the dragon horde, but deep in the halls of Erebor.
Look at this. This is straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride.
Oh, this is a far, far bigger treasure pile than ever existed in any Pirates of the Caribbean.
Who's got a bigger pile, Smaug or Uncle Scrooge?
Oh, definitely Smaug.
He's definitely playing Uncle Scrooge here, like swimming in money.
And he's tripping and stumbling over all this treasure and gold, and look at all the coins flying everywhere. Now, I get a feeling that they are in he's sliding and trying to.
What? He's sliding under a door. Look right here.
That would have been the height of the arch. Yeah. See the left? That would have been maybe like.
Is he trying to get into the door before the it's closed off?
No, nothing's moving. Just him. He's the only thing moving. But what I find interesting is there's no dragon here at all. There's no dragon at all.
And it's tall. You've got a.
And because there's no dragon, perhaps we're at a point in the story where Smaug has already left the building. Okay, Elvis has left the room, and Smaug left Erebor. Maybe at this point, it's the part in the story where Bilbo runs through and finds his way back to. Maybe he's trying to find his way back to the secret entrance to get back to the outside.
There's a lot of big pieces of gold over here.
Or, you know what? This might be the second time when Bilbo goes back inside the halls after the dragon has left.
Yeah.
And the dragon is busy elsewhere. We know where the dragon is busy, but he is, at this point in the story, not in the room.
All right,
now,
so
moving on to the wizards, Radagast and Gandalf.
So this is something that a lot of fans noticed in the first movie. Radagast carries the flame of Arnor, right? That's what this is called. Wielder. Like when Gandalf does battle with the Balrog, he says, "I am the wielder of
the flame of Arnor," which is a metaphorical statement. He doesn't mean literally an artifact he's holding.
But it's held up. He holds up the staff like that is it, and this is the staff. It's Radagast's staff.
All of the Astari, all of the wizards have their own staves. That's Radagast's. That's his own. We see him use it, and it's unique shaped blue crystal. He uses it to heal Sebastian, the hedgehog. We saw it in the first film.
It's a healing.
So Radagast saying, "But Gandalf, what if it's a trap?" They're on location at Dol Guldur.
What if it's a trap?
It's undoubtedly a trap.
That's straight out of Star Wars, Admiral Akbar.
That's what I said.
Sorry, I had to say it.
I tweeted it earlier today. That's okay. I said Gandalf does a much better job with Admiral Akbar's most famous line of dialogue. It's a trap. Ha.
It's most definitely a trap.
Yeah, so Gandalf does quite a bit better with that dialogue.
And this is another scene I think that was supposed to be in the first movie. When you see the trailer, the original teaser trailer for The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, you see Gandalf in Dol Guldur. So this was another scene. We know Tauriel was supposed to be in the first movie. We know Gandalf was supposed to be in this place in the first movie. So we're starting to see, you know, where the split happened and what they decided to kind of throw in the second.
Here's a good question. Do you think the Dol Guldur scenes are flashbacks setting up how Gandalf got the key? If so, why is Radagast there? I need to address that question.
We'll get there in a second.
No, let me tell you something.
Well, there's another shot.
There's another shot where they're in one of the broken tombs of the ring wraiths, and it might be in those establishing shots that Radagast and Gandalf are up in the north, in the high fells of Angmar, and then they're tricking us into believing they're at Dol Guldur by putting in that wide shot of Dol Guldur. Maybe the two wizards are not even there in Dol Guldur. Remember, this is a teaser trailer, and everything is mish-mash edits. Everything's thrown together. They might not be all contextual.
Right.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Onward.
This was important to put the word desolation on screen because we've had a few websites that didn't do their homework and call it the demolition of Smaug. There have been a few different websites that don't.
Look at the map. See the map? The map says the desolation of Smaug.
So literally, the words of desolation is above the word the
desolation of Smaug. Could you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Man, you notice the crazy stuff. So
I noticed it right away.
It was really important for them to put the word desolation in text, in bold, on screen, telling people what the name of this movie is.
I'm telling you that the phrase "Beyond Darkness" is a tip-off from the current popularity of Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yes.
So now it's saying beyond darkness, beyond desolation, beyond your wildest dreams, Middle-earth is back. This is a great, a very synergistic marketing bit of stuff. Oh, look what we have here.
And so
more of Thranduil's halls.
And I love the detail.
They're going along massive root systems that are in the caves, in the caverns.
Right.
Oh, and there's those eyebrows. Okay.
And so now the eyebrows have white in them. And is that just lighting or?
That's high. No, that's just the way they're lit.
Okay.
Oh, those eyebrows.
It looked like it looked like frostbitten eyebrows.
Yeah, grab this chair.
I thought somehow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have. There's another chair that might be easier to grab.
I don't have the room set up.
We don't have the room set up.
We'll have a special guest next week.
Well. Yeah. Larry, don't worry. We're gonna make room for Larry. Pop your face in there and say hi. We're talking. Is everybody seeing just the trailer?
And
are we in an instant?
No, we're in instant. So where is this now?
Okay.
Where? Because I thought the doors were underground.
Well, the kingdom of Thranduil is underground, but it opens up to the outside. And
it opens up to the outside?
Yeah, so this is where they're going outside, and they're leaving the sculptured trees made of stone on your immediate left, see?
That looks like
it does look like a statue.
This hand looks like a statue of an orc.
This is a statue, this is a statue.
Yeah.
He's walking past these statues, and then he goes from carved trees on the left to actual trees.
What do you think he's saying?
Everybody,
they went this way.
Say hi to Larry Curtis, right there.
Hi.
Our
Larry
friend
Curtis.
and fellow staff member and writer for TheOneRing.net. Hello there, how are you, sir?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. What a nice surprise, sir.
It's my pleasure.
How are you?
All right, so we've got they obviously didn't. The dwarves didn't go downriver because there's a waterfall right there. So I don't know what you could be doing there, but anyway.
They may have gone out the back door, and that may be the front door, so that river could go around the side.
This is a little teaser trailer. This is a little teaser from the preview from the Blu-ray release of inside where they find the nine.
It's been flipped. Previously, the shot has the actors on the left of the composition, and the the burst open prison cells on the right.
Right.
So this image has been reversed.
So
But-
there isn't much to talk about.
But I'm telling
here.
you guys, this is not inside Dol Guldur.
No, this is a
shot-
separate
Yeah.
flashback. This is a farther flashback.
Well, this is some other thing in some other point in the timeline where Gandalf,
This is a big
Gandalf is
flashback.
definitely not spending time with Thorin and company. He's off in the old realm of Angmar.
All right, what's going on here?
Now this is a crazy fight scene, and it looks like elves and orcs are attacking each other, and there's Azog. Welcome back,
Welcome
Cotter.
back. Oh, a little more effort was put on his CG-ness.
Welcome back, Cotter. Here's here's Azog.
And it looks, this thing looked like something with wings, but maybe
Just a cloak.
Just a
maybe
cloak.
just a cloak
Yeah.
or something like that. And what elves are these?
Must be forest.
Those are elves of Mirkwood. Those are Thranduil's
Those are
men.
Thranduil's men.
Yeah, those are Thranduil's elves, and it looks like two elves are destroyed right then and there, and they die. And the orcs are fueled by their chieftain. He does look rather meow meow, doesn't he, right there?
The
Okay, here's your giant spider, Mischief.
everybody's been waiting for the spiders.
They're big. Look how big they are.
They
Not
are
as big as Shalom.
No, not as big as Shelob. It's pronounced Shelob.
Whatever.
But
A big
they're-
spider
But
was
they're,
big.
but they're very big. They could have been much smaller and still been suitable.
Now,
So they get caught. He's pretty high up off the ground. If you look at all the,
He's way in a tree. You're right.
oh yeah, he's high up off the ground.
he's way high up off the
I
ground.
told you, hobbits can climb trees better than any dwarf, any day.
And you don't see any dwarves in the shot. Yeah, but you see other spiders over here.
Might be a
on
dwarf
the-
wrapped up in a tree right
on
there.
this.
Yeah, do we see any dwarves' bodies hanging up on the trees?
Isn't that one where Justin's cursor up to the right? Right
Mm,
by the
left.
edge of Bilbo's, right by the edge of Bilbo's tree, just to the left, there's a bundle.
Oh yeah, I mean up there.
Yes.
It's coming in the frame
Yes.
there.
That's another spider.
No, no,
Maybe.
right, no, right there by the spider's
Oh,
leg.
Okay.
Right there.
I do see a bundle behind. I did see something behind.
Okay.
Now, imagine how difficult it would be if all these spiders were as big as Shelob.
So
Imagine.
so Bilbo must be afraid of spiders, but not afraid of bears, because like when he saw a big bear with a mouth bigger than Bilbo himself, Bilbo was like, ah, ready to take out his sword. Now he's just like holding his breath, like, don't talk to me. Don't talk
So
to me.
here's a
Don't talk to
question.
me.
Bilbo does not, he apparently is not wearing the ring in this shot.
Oh, a lot of people are arguing about that right now, this
Wow.
very second in the chat. The question is, shouldn't he be invisible right now?
And I think he will be, and they haven't added the effects.
Well,
But because
maybe.
he's wearing the ring.
Yes, Pete. Pete is.
He's 100% wearing the ring.
But maybe that's,
Oh, look, okay, look, you're right. He is. He is wearing the ring right there. So that means we're.
not a very scary shot if he's actually visible.
Then they-
You would see nothing.
So
They
they haven't
haven't-
added that.
The of being inside the Twilight world
Yeah.
when he puts on the ring and enters.
And that's why he's holding his breath right now, because he is in the invisible world, and he's not. So
Oh yeah,
still trying to hold,
but they haven't done the effects work of making it go.
he's- That's definitely holding the ring.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
wearing the ring. So
He's wearing it. Okay,
So
he
he's
is
holding his
invisible.
breath. He's trying to escape the spider. So he is invisible right now, folks. Calm down. Calm down.
They-
Wait. This isn't a deviation from the book, so we're still good. We're only 4 down. Lies the greatest danger of all. This was a little cheesy. They could have come up with a better.
Lies the
thing.
greatest danger of all.
They're just trying to
That-
raise
that's
the
ac-
stakes.
Yeah. That reminds me of the lyric of The Greatest Adventure from the '77
You
Hobbit.
know, the Lord of the Rings, the
That's
Two
what this
Towers,
reminds
and
me
the
of.
Return of the King did not need to put text on screen. Just saying.
Well,
the regular trailer will
Is this
not have
Thorin?
text. This is a teaser.
So is this Thorin? Where are we?
so
This
In
is inside the Lonely Mountain, and it looks like Thorin.
This is the door.
This looks like Thorin
This is the moonlight door.
or Dwalin opening up the door. Yes.
probably true.
Yes,
I
it looks
agree,
like
that's-
Thorin
This
just
is
now
the door.
opening
Look at that,
door.
and look the way it's wedged is that. Yep.
Yes, it only opens one way.
It only opens one day,
Yeah.
one way. Yep, and the moonlight. So
I would
this
rather have not seen that.
this shot. If
Really?
One of the
Do you think
reasons.
that spoils?
One of the reasons the Two Towers, the epic scene of Aragorn open the doors all slowly, became an iconic because it was in the teaser. It was in the very first trailer. Aragorn opening the doors with the moonlight spilling in and just, soaked in exhaustion. I was kind of expecting a more heroic kind of entrance, and this is as close as we get.
I think they went for creepy.
They went for creepy, and this is obviously a small opening in the side of the mountain, but this is reminiscent of the Two Towers Aragorn opening scene. You have a door opening, more of magic than of manliness.
Of course, that could be that they never use that shot again, but it worked for the teaser, and they may give you your heroic entrance, Justin.
If they filmed a heroic entrance, they would have put it in the trailer.
I don't know.
They did it on Two Towers, and they would do it again here. Come on, rinse, repeat.
Interesting proper dwarf heights. Look at how the dwarves barely come up to the shoulders of the men.
All right, so
very
we're
good scale
in
double. Use of scale
snowy,
doubles.
cold winter Lake Town, and this is our first shot of Fast and the Furious 6 star Luke Evans.
Luke Evans, star of The Immortals.
And which everybody's cracking up now, saying, "Hey, does Orlando Bloom have two roles in this movie?" Everyone's like, "Wait, did they dye his hair brown?"
He's much more rugged than Orlando.
No, he is a clone of Orlando.
You mean the Will Turner character?
He is a clone. Look at him and think of Will Turner and be like, "Yeah, Orlando Bloom could have played this guy."
His hair is different.
Well,
His hair is different.
that's not even Luke Evans' hair anyway.
I'll disagree.
I don't think it looks exactly like Will
He's
Turner.
got a soft-spoken thing going on, like a stern but soft
He
voice.
has a different forehead. He has a different.
If you back that up, you get to see a new costume for Thorin, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Brand new costume.
Brand new costume for Thorin.
Never seen that.
Wearing he's not wearing. I think he's wearing a clothing given to him by the men of Lake Town.
That's a good guess.
And you got Dwalin, right?
Yeah, there's Dwalin's. There's Grand McTavish's tattoos.
What do you think about all this neon freaking, or maybe it's not neon, it's light.
The lighting.
It's the lighting.
The lighting is gold and blue.
Big
Yeah.
conical helmets, though. Interesting.
Yeah, they are. They
Yeah,
are.
these are like.
They're inspired by another almost mongoloid or Mongol design.
So this goes along with the architecture we were just talking about, kind of. What were you saying?
It's in Inuit. to me.
Inuit. So we definitely have this kind of northeastern
Oh.
Asian influence, right?
Yes, it does. It's very interesting.
Northeast Asian
But I think
influence.
Luke Evans is an excellent addition to the cast, and
Do you think the Lake Town should have been Asian actors?
no, there's nothing like that.
Okay,
Not in the geography of Middle Earth of this place.
I got you.
Now, back to the often discussed fight between a tortured and out of his mind Thrain and Gandalf.
Wait, this
does
Thrain?
take place in Dol Guldur, yes. That's Gandalf fighting desperately against completely dehumanized. If you're going to talk about a character being dehumanized, it's not Bjorn.
Well, but
The person-
Gandalf is like supposed to be super tall, and this dwarf is like.
This dwarf, this is what happens after you've been stuck in a torture chamber for years and years and years at the hands of the Dark Lord.
Maybe they stretched him on a rack, making him taller.
Maybe.
There's lots of leather
But that is,
Thorin.
this is Thorin's dad, his actual dad, Thrain.
And we'll
Not
get
the
another-
grandfather of Thror, but
We'll
Thrain.
get another shot of that, and then
That's the weirdest Orlando Bloom I've ever
here's the third scene of Legolas Orlando Bloom. Like, this is fan service if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
like,
so Tauriel fighting orcs as well, fighting all the bad
and
guys.
I thought. So are these the first Uruk-hai?
No, there are no Uruk-hai in this story.
So why are they out in the daylight?
Well, that's a good question.
It's an excellent question.
They were out in the daylight in an unexpected
Because
journey,
I
chasing
can
Radagast.
totally see Orlando going back to his father and say orcs move at day now. Orcs move during the day now. You know, this might be the first hint of an Uruk-hai.
Well, the elves did all the different elves. They did hunt down
Do you know what? Yes.
some in daylight, but Radagast, that whole chase scene, all daylight.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And this must be Bilbo trying to get out of, the barrels out of Bond sequence.
Yeah.
He's the only one not in a barrel.
Yeah.
Everybody else got to be in one except himself. So now this is interesting. A dwarf boot.
That's a dwarf boot.
It's a great.
I want to buy that boot.
That's a great close-up.
Put that
dwarf
boot on sale. Someone licensed freaking boots of this.
That is an amazing dwarf boot.
And he
Yes.
drops his sword.
And I would say very good cinematography as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's great depth to the shot, interesting design, features.
But
action.
what's he holding right there?
What is happening in this shot? And what is he stepping on?
Drop.
Oh, the key. Oh, it's like him saving the key from falling off the side of the mountain.
Oh, that's the key.
That's
That
the
is
key. Yeah. Oh, it looks like a desperate. We almost dropped the keys. That's what that is. Someone
Save the
almost
key,
drops
and
the bloody keys.
This is the key, and he's holding the map.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, drop before I drop it. Okay. All right. So he saves the key. Now, there is.
So back to the battle of the barrels. And why are the elves
this crazy
chasing Bombor?
This crazy battle of the barrels now includes. Okay, it includes a dwarf in a barrel stealing an axe from an orc in midair, and then flying like a bowling ball into a bunch of other orcs.
This takes me right back to Goblin
What is all
It's the
this?
same kind of mayhem we saw in Goblin
It
Town,
is
don't you think?
total mayhem.
And this gives you reason why the elves are chasing Bombor on the trees, because they're actually
Is
evading.
that Bombor?
This is Bombor.
Bombor grabs an axe out of an orc, and look, the orc has an arrow in him. He's been shot in midair.
So that gives you a reason why Bombor, we saw Bombor and the elves running over the branches. They're actually fighting orcs because, and that explains why Azog is battling. Yeah, so there you go.
Is that a dwarven arrow or an elven arrow?
I don't know, but that's one dead orc, and it seems to be the most. That's really
It's an elven arrow.
crazy timing.
I think that Tariel and Legolas might be right there when all that's happening.
Okay, and now Legolas and Tariel and other wood elves fighting for their lives against a bunch of
Is
other
he
orcs.
still pulling an arrow when he's that close? I thought he had a pair of knives for close combat.
He's doing arrows at point blank, right in your
And then
eyeballs.
this is the, hi-ya!
Oh,
Chun-Li.
Such a hero shot.
Straight up Chun-Li.
Is that Tariel?
Yes.
There's Evangeline Lilly flying through the sky in this spectacular fashion.
And she just looks out of place with the coloring and everything. It just does not match. It doesn't match. It looks like CG.
Well, it's probably not finished.
It's way not finished. And now here's Thrain jumping. At the same time, we see this big
This is
leap in
Thrain.
the air.
This is Thrain.
There's Thrain.
Yikes.
Oh, Gandalf, are you in for it?
That is a long
That is-
fall for any
And
dwarf.
he's got a crooked knife.
I'm surprised Gandalf survives this attack from behind.
Yeah.
I wonder if
obviously
he's
gets
not trying to
stabbed
stab him or if he's just trying to hold a knife to him and say, don't move, you crazy Gandalf man.
Yeah.
Because if he stabbed him from that height with that much power, cut him in half.
Do we know where this is? We know where he was kept.
Gotta be Dol.
It is Dol Guldur, yes, and he is in the book and in the film being held captive there. It's the same place. Now, Neil very smartly observes, you can see in the original An Unexpected Journey trailer that Gandalf does indeed have Galadriel during that Thrain scene. The only explanation is that Gandalf meets Thrain twice. First time non-crazy, Gandalf leaves thinking he's dead, and the second, meeting him in Dol Guldur, he meets crazy Thrain. Because look what Gandalf is holding. That's not Galadriel.
Yeah.
That is not Galadriel. So I'm very curious. There's pretty wild inconsistencies between those old trailers and what we're seeing now. Maybe, Neil, you're going to completely dispense with what we saw last year in that
I
Unexpected
thought
Journey
Thrain
trailer.
was in the big green tower.
What big green tower?
Remember where the Nine lived? Where did the Nine live?
Do you mean where the 9 ring wraiths were held captive according to this movie?
Where do they
universe?
live in Lord of the Rings? In the Green Tower.
Oh, that's in Minas Morgul.
Minas Morgul. I thought Thrain was held in Minas Morgul.
No, Minas Morgul has not been rehabilitated by the ring wraiths.
Okay. Whoa. So we got Toriel again.
Clever. I love that. That's something a little different than anything Jackson's fight film. A backwards leaning dodge. Pretty cool.
A backwards leaning dodge, barely at the last second.
Alright, we're back in spiders. Yeah, again, we see Bilbo is really high up.
And he's falling through the limbs. Now, all these action shots are blam, 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 a mile a minute. And they keep coming at you.
You know, one thing that I miss...
We know for sure that all the elves in Mirkwood are going to be attacked by Azog and company on the outskirts of their realm. We see this happen. We don't see the battle scenes happening inside the caves. We see them all happening outside. At least we know this. This is another departure. Is it number 5 from the books?
Yes.
Okay. And we also see that Bilbo is dealing with spiders, and they haven't finished the effect shots for his invisibility, where he's in the Twilight Realm.
And here's one of the orcs from the trailer, and this brings up one of my biggest issues, is that this looks like a John Carpenter evil character and not Peter Jackson, or many of the most memorable characters of the Two Towers were the orcs. Man flesh. What about them legs? They don't need them. There were so many wonderful prosthetic played by our friend Jed Brophy,
Who did quite a few
who
of them.
did many of those, and you had this wonderful close up. I'm talking, really close up of these orc faces, because they were an actor in makeup, and I don't get the same humanity out of these orcs. It just looks way too fake.
Since when have you been ever looking for humanity in any of the orcs?
I'm trying.
Since when? That was a bit of a
And it just looks
non
CG.
sequitur, to say the least.
Well, and look how sharp his face is, and look the rest of his body. I mean, it just looks CG tacked on. And so this is what we're talking about when people say the whole thing just looks CG.
Okay,
and
this
if
is
you want
months away from being finished.
But if you want to
not
pinpoint,
finished.
it's the same thing in the Hobbit movie. People walked out of the Hobbit movie, The Unexpected Journey, saying, that was just a little much too much CG than I'm used to. And if you want to pinpoint why people feel this way, it's because little stuff like this is subconsciously noticeable. It is
Unfinished footage.
way. I don't think
Again,
that's unfinished.
this is the third
I'll
time.
bet you that's not unfinished.
This is the third time that I'm saying this.
Look at Keeley having so much fun.
This is the third time that I'm saying this, and I hope you guys bear this in mind. When they down convert from HFR down to other lower resolutions for us to consume on the web, this is part of the process of CG and other photography elements that are done at super, super high res. When you down convert, it's not all uniform. This is something that audiences were talking about
needs to be
in the
uniform.
theatrical release of An Unexpected Journey. They said, oh, it looks like some of the movements of them were a little jerky and fast and quick. And that was because you down converted from 48 frames down to 24. It happens. This is something that technically trying to figure out.
The answer is just fix it.
Also,
This is a nascent technology. They're still working it out.
I have one other comment about this.
Thank you.
This character, both good points from both of you. This character and this camera shot would be extremely difficult to execute if it were 100% practical. Look how sharp the focus is on that guy the whole time as he
You
moves.
can do it.
You can do it, but I'm saying
Well,
it's
his
very
body
hard.
isn't in focus. That's
His
what I'm talking
face
about.
is
Like,
sharply focused, and that's
I know.
a tough shot.
well, then the face needs to match the body. You can deal without a focus. Like
So-
everything, that whole head
Okay.
is
We've
face.
seen no shots quite like that in the Lord of the Rings trilogy with characters jumping and leaping, and we've seen about
Are
4 in
you
the
kidding?
trailer.
We've seen a ton of them.
No, we've never seen shots like
In
that.
Lord of the Rings?
No, Lord of the Rings does not have shots like that.
But
It
Justin,
doesn't.
I do agree with you that I love
Who's out of the barrel?
Bilbo is.
I love the prosthetics in Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong, and I'm not a big fan of Azog at all.
Fair
But
enough.
that's a crazy shot that we never saw in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he is trying a lot of new ambitious ways of pumping up the action. And camera moves is a big part of it. A big part of the change.
All right, look how much
He doesn't want to redo everything he's already done in the first 3 films.
Look how much fun Keeley is having.
Yeah, yes, Keeley.
He's like, yeah!
And Thorne's about to kill the cameraman.
I know.
Thorne
like,
is about to take the cameraman down. But that's not Orcrist. He's holding some kind of a crazy orc blade.
That's
It's
an
like
orc
an
sword.
antler.
It looks like some other. It might be an elf blade.
Might be an elf blade. So we've got Ori, and we've got Keeley.
How
we've
the
got
heck?
Bilbo.
How the heck could you be in a barrel that deep in water and be able to manipulate a bow? Oh my gosh, this defies all suspension of disbelief, even
Holding
for me.
arrows. That bow has arrows on it.
Oh, he's holding extra arrows.
Look at
Okay.
He's athletic, that guy.
This is really fun.
Come
okay,
on.
let's go. Let's
Come
go.
on. And this is again what I'm talking about. Motion blur, motion blur, motion blur, motion blur, motion blur, motion. Super sharp. The hand and the bow is super sharp. Like, oh, fix that in post. This is becoming more George Lucas by the second.
Yeah, that's very funny. To address our friends in the chat room, hello, Ballin's Depressed Panties. I love your very clever moniker, but no, I am not a Jackson apologist, and I never claimed to be one. And I will not make lame excuses for Peter Jackson for anything that he ever does. However, I am more willing than most purists to give him a little bit of leeway here and there, and I love an exciting visual bit of storytelling as much as the next guy. But you know, bear with us. Everything will wash out clean.
No balls in the
Is he
trailer.
accusing you specifically or us in general?
No, it's just he's
Victor in
just
the chat.
speaking about me, but that's okay. Don't worry. No, that's why we're here, is to banter and talk about what we like, what we don't like. And I think that this trailer
Was that?
right on to the very end moment
And we've got
when we've got one of the most
Ballin.
one of the dumbest and most obvious questions that a bunch of dwarves looking for a dragon would ever ask out loud. What was that?
No, that
An
was Bilbo.
earthquake?
That was Bilbo asking that.
No, but I mean, it's the same bit of dialogue in the 1977 Hobbit film. It's the same thing. One of the dwarves says, "What is that? Is it a landslide? Is it an earthquake?" And come on, you guys know what that is.
Yeah, it is a
Why do they
little
even
odd.
ask? Why do you even ask? But
Whose
it's in
sword-
Tolkien, so you know. There you go.
Whose sword is sitting on the
That is
sword?
Orcrist.
So Orcrist is
That is Orcrist,
unsheathed.
unsheathed, sitting by itself on the
It
side.
looks like Thorn went inside.
To see what happened to Bilbo, maybe?
Because we've got
Balin.
Nice
and
messy-
Dory.
Nice
and
messy hair, Balin.
Yeah, Balin's.
Dory,
He looks beat up a little
and
bit, huh?
William Kircher, the useless dwarf.
Not the
William
useless
Kircher.
dwarf.
He's totally useless.
Absolutely not.
I take absolute issue.
I take issue with that too. I think that Bifur is the unexplored dwarf. Let's just say that. His
We
character
talked
is
about this in the
unexplored.
History of Dwarves series. There are some useless dwarves, and he's one of them.
Well, we'll see what he contributes to the second and third
I
film.
feel like they held onto that pause way too long in this trailer.
He gets all the best lines.
Was a dragon.
It's all the best, the really good.
Bilbo and Balin.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
And
supporting
this
dwarves.
is,
he
this
gets
is the
all
guy
of
that
them.
goes into Moria.
Yes, Balin gets all of it. That's the guy. Balin is the guy who goes into Moria and is dead in that tomb.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
And
him.
now the scene that I
Yes.
didn't want in the trailer.
Agree
No.
with you, Justin, 100%.
Two-
You guys,
two things.
100% spoiler warning right now. If you guys haven't seen it yet, now's your chance to dismiss yourself from the room and go make yourself a nice latte and relax for a minute. But here it is. The dragon shows up at the end of this trailer.
There's two things
Right
wrong
here.
with this scene. One, now that we have a look at the dragon, we can judge it and comment on it and do what we're about to do for the next 6 months. And Bilbo's not invisible.
No, here's the weird thing. Bilbo is not invisible, and around the corner comes somebody I was not expecting to see. And we see almost his full neck.
And he's big.
And
big,
there,
big.
and his eye is moving, that spotlight moving across the wall, and you see his tongue moving in his mouth. Oh, wow.
How is that mouth going to speak human English?
I have no idea how
It
that
seems
mouth
impossible.
is going to speak.
Benedict Cumberbatch English is more human than human.
but it
English.
doesn't
Was it-
have the right moving parts to pronounce English consonants or vowels. It's A miracle.
But it does have quite
he
a lot
has
of...
a lip snarl.
The lips are moving and the tongue is moving, and it looks like he's got lots of...
How are you going to make a tree talk?
How are you going to make a tree talk? Same thing.
They made a tree talk.
Same
and
point.
It worked.
Yeah.
But it looks like he has moving, ambulatory parts of his mouth. Unlike if it were a puppet, if it was a giant Gamork, the one that we loved so much from the Never-Ending Story, if it was a giant rock biter, a puppet, it would look nice, cool, like a
cut right there,
like a physical effect.
Yeah, they should have cut right there.
Right.
Here's the problem, because at the end of the Hobbit and then the Unexpected Journey, you had this big eye, and that eye was big, and it was detailed, and it had layers, and it felt like the eye was big. Now this dragon's got little beady eyes. Like, this isn't like a spotlight Eye of Sauron eye anymore, which we were kind of, the end of the Unexpected Journey had, like, it was just a big solid eye. This guy's got little bitty eyes.
Look how...
that's an LED flashlight of an eye.
Well, look how big he really is. His tooth is the size of Bilbo.
He is a giant creature.
He is enormous.
He is a giant creature. Now, here's the problem that I have with this shot. Do you see the way that Bilbo is moving and rustling all the coins with his feet?
Yeah.
The dragon would know instantly that there's a creature there shuffling all those coins with his feet, whether he's invisible or not. And snuff, you're gone in the blink of an eye, just like Boffer warned at the dinner table.
Yes.
A blink of an eye and you're incinerated.
Which leads me to believe
this is problematic in the storytelling sense.
Perhaps he's toying with him at this point. There is some sort of give and take. So he could kill him certainly, but maybe he chooses...
Maybe he's playing with his dinner before he eats it.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Is this,
okay. This puts a whole new feline aspect to it. That was one of the most successful parts of the 1977 animated Hobbit, was the way that they made Smaug very much like an arrogant, large, red cat. A cat who acted very feline. He looked a little bit feline with his whiskers and his design, but we know how cats play with a half-dead bird or half-dead mouse before they eat it. And maybe Smaug is really just, excuse my French, effing with Bilbo, maybe. And this is one of the delightful things about this encounter between Bilbo and the dragon, is that both of them are interested in one thing and one thing only. They're trying to mind-F one another. Bilbo gets the upper hand, ultimately. That's part of the joy of the story. But if Smaug was really, really looking for him, no invisibility ring will protect you from shuffling all those coins out with your feet like that.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Okay.
So do we like the dragon's look?
Yeah, I think his design is very cool.
I think he looks like a catfish. That's a big catfish.
I think his design is very cool, but
very catfish.
But it also looks like
you got horns on the.
He does look a little bit like a great big
catfish
kind of.
Yeah, you got these whiskers.
Or a koi fish.
A koi fish.
Yeah, a little koi pond here in Erebor. Erebor, the world's most expensive koi pond.
But generally,
you can tell he's talking right now. Like you can.
He's
tell
about to say, yeah.
You can tell he's talking.
Well, he's about to say something.
Yeah.
I generally like it. I would give it a thumbs up.
Okay, now here's the real question. Should we have seen it? Okay.
No, I agree. No.
Everyone here at the table, except me, I'm outvoted this time.
Two-thirds.
Two-thirds of the table say that this dragon, even this much of him, should not have been revealed in the teaser. Would it have served a better place in the main teaser later this year?
Well, I have a whole theory. I would love to have never seen the dragon until I go to the theater and see the movie for the first time, so that I see him the same time Bilbo sees him.
That was my argument.
However, Justin, I think you nailed it. However, I think they were worried that at some point it would get out anyway. It would get out anyway. And so they decided, rather than let something leak or get out or have people talk about it, they were preemptively just going to establish
Nothing's got out since then. They've had this dragon for a long time.
Well, but now he's on film. There was no dragon before. I honestly believe there was no such thing as a Smaug design in the first film, and this has all happened in the
They should have cut it right here.
Agreed. Perfect.
And if they were going to show anything else, they should have done what Jurassic Park did and just show the dilating pupil of the eye. Remember Jurassic Park in the window, and you just saw the dilating eye? That's one of the reasons that shot became iconic, because people kept seeing it on the trailer over and over and over again.
Maximize foreplay.
Just that. So just show, this is straight out of Jurassic Park showing the teeth. And then you could have just shown a close-up of an eye, and that would have been good. And show the eye dilating, or show the eye being a beam of light or something like that. But good call on Cliff. You know,
Blair actually agrees with you. He looks like a Jurassic Park raptor, which is the first thing he said.
That's what I said. I said that my first gut reaction is, this looks like a raptor, a snarling raptor that just figured out how to open doors.
I just saw fish head.
Okay, here's an interesting. K. Ouijibo says that Smaug is curious because he hasn't smelled Hobbit before.
Yes.
So maybe he is. Maybe that makes Kitty Cat a little bit more curious about who's this strange mouse coming to visit my deep sleep. So,
So were there any surprises here? We've got music by Howard Shore. You know, all the same people are back. Wingnut Films production.
There's a name I'm not very familiar with on that list.
Which one?
Eileen Moran. I don't know who that is.
Eileen Moran is
she's co-producer.
Well done, though. Good
directed
job.
by Peter Jackson, screenplay by Frank Walsh, based on the novel by J.R.R. Tolkien.
See that top line produced by Caroline Cunningham?
Yes.
She is awesome, and the person
We
that I
love
was
film.
scared of on set.
Really? Carolyn Cunningham?
She's cracks the whip. She's fantastic. Deserves way more credit than she'll ever get. Really great.
And of course, coming is
Yeah, we do have some music in the background.
3D and HFR 3D. So this has been our complete frame-by-frame analysis of the Hobbit Desolation of Smaug teaser trailer.
It has been an amazing experience sharing all of this and all these wild speculations with you. And yes, guess what? At the end of the day, my vote is that this is a really successful teaser trailer, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's designed to get us all talkative and buzzing and a little bit anxious.
It was as good a trailer as you can get. It was fan service 100%.
Yes.
And it overdid on the fan service. They should have never showed the dragon.
Let us not forget that trailer exists for one purpose. That is to sell movie tickets. And I think
And you
no
can't
doubt,
buy movie tickets yet.
But there's
A
no doubt
teaser
that it
trailer does not sell movie tickets because you can't pre-order
but
tickets yet.
But everybody wants
Right.
to go see the film.
It's
That's
all
it's
fan
supposed to do,
service.
and it works. I think it absolutely works.
All right, so we don't know.
I agree.
We know that we're getting a new production diary next week. We don't know when there's a new trailer.
How do we know that?
Supposedly that we don't know if we're getting anything before San Diego Comic-Con, but I said production vlog. So this has been the trailer review. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
This is Justin Sewell.
That's Cliff.
I'm Clifford Broadway. Follow me on Twitter at QuickBeam2000. And this here is Larry Curtis. And sorry, we've got a bunch of other theater people and a bunch of other
All right,
production going on downstairs.
So until next time.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.